Good afternoon and welcome back to the National Basketball Arena here in Tala. We're just underway in the Hula Hoops Men's President's Cup Final. Today's matchup sees two of the most consistent men's Division 1 teams over the last few years, with last year's league runners-up and this season's league leaders, Maree BC, taking on the cup specialists from CNS Blue Demons. I'm joined today by Pat Price. Pat, good afternoon to you.
Matt, how are you? Thanks for having me.
Pat, it's a kind of perennial league team in Maree that are always there or thereabouts at the end of the season, whereas Demons in Division 1 especially tend to go a different route. They're not always at the top of the league, but they're nearly always here when it comes to cup time with the current champions. What kind of game are we looking for today?
Well, look, I think the first thing I see when I look on the floor is experience on the Demons side. Every one of these guys within the last 3 or 4 years has played Premier League basketball. There's certainly talent from Maree, particularly with Kenneth Hansberry at 25 a game. And again, how they're able to contain his scoring threat is going to play a large part in the result today.
So we're just underway. It's still 0-0. Nothing's gone in yet. McCarthy with the ball. I'll just run through the starting fives for you. As we see Dave Murphy just losing the ball inside. So for Maree, it's number 6, Cahill Finn, number 9, Podrick Burke, number 11, Colm O'Hagan as a first basket there for Demons, number 14, Paulius Pedzius, the former Titan star, and number 21, Kenneth Hansberry. For CNS Blue Demons, it's number 5, Shane Duggan, number 7, Shane McCarthy, number 8, Shane Buckley, number 9, Dave Murphy, and number 10, Brian O'Neill.
Duggan with back-to-back drives, and his second time in particular, he's getting to the rim pretty easy.
So a great start for Demons. And Duggan in particular had a big quarter-final game as they beat Keene Super Value Killorgan in a one-point game, 100 to 101, with Duggan having 26 points.
Shane's pretty versatile. He's got great size and great length for a guard. And again, you go back to that word experience. He's been doing this a long time. Plenty of cup finals under his belt.
So 4-0 in the early going to Demons, and it'll be O'Hagan who looks to set things up for Maree. Burke comes off the Hansberry screen, makes a great pass inside the cut Hansberry, and Hansberry opens his account and Maree's account with their first basket. It's Demons 4-2.
Terrific cut by Hansberry. When you enter the ball into the high post, you have so many options.
Murphy hits the cut in. McCarthy does exceptionally well to keep control of the ball and eventually throws off the foot of Podrick Burke, who claims it was his knee. He'd do well to be running on that knee.
That's right, he got bailed out a little bit there, didn't he, with the kicked ball, but Shane showed some skill there to control it when he fell.
Brian O'Neill, short two, and Brian opens his account, and especially part of the last two cup finals, Brian O'Neill's been a huge part of the Demons' wins with his long-range shooting.
Yeah, he's always had a great eye for the basket. Again, games like today, if he's scoring early, you'd want to keep a close eye on that.
Burke, the long two, just inside the line, rebound McCarthy, but O'Hagan is called for a foul as he just tries to wrestle the ball off the experienced McCarthy. Of course, these two teams already met in the league this year as Duggan pulls up for two, doesn't go. Goes out of bounds with Maree ball. They met it early in the season in October, with Maree coming out 10-point winners. But Pat, will that play much of a role today, or are Demons a completely different team in the cup?
Well, look, everybody uses this phrase, it's about on the day. And the only caveat to that is, have you been here on that day before? And I really am a believer in that. Again, these guys, it's old hat for them. It's old hat. That doesn't guarantee them anything, but there's a comfort level within Demons for certain.
Foul is called on Dave Murphy. That'll be his first. So 7 minutes gone in the Hula Hoops Men's President Cup Final. It's 6-2 to Demons. as Hansbury take a 3, and for a big guy, he's excellent versatility. Great pass by McCarthy, and McCarthy finds Buckley on a long-range baseball pass, and it's 8-2 to Demons.
Yeah, that would be vintage Demons ball. Get out early, get out often, and try to get those high percentage shots.
And Pelzius opens his account from 3. As he discussed that, he does go for 3 and straight back down. Brian O'Neill is blocked by Coyle Finn, and a great pass from O'Hagan to Finn, and all of a sudden Maree are right back in it, and they eventually find their scoring feet, and it's 8-7.
And Pelzius was the key to both of those plays. He really answered. He answered the Demons' challenge straight away with back-to-back terrific options.
Inside to Buckley. Buckley finds O'Neill. This time he's open for the 3. Bounces out. Rebounded Finn. And again, another player with real Super League experience, Premier League experience. O'Hagan goes inside. O'Hagan gets the basket. And a foul on O'Neill. And the basket will count. And Maree take their first lead of the game on the basket. Sorry, it wasn't Finn, it was Pelzius. And he's got real experience from this particular event. Although a couple of losses in some heartbreaking defeats for Titans in previous years.
Well, Pelzius gets a 3, the assist, and then a post-up score with an opportunity for the end 1, impacting the game at an early stage.
And he makes a 3-point play. So O'Neill hits Murphy coming off a double screen. And a foul called on Coyle Finn. I think that'll be his first of the game. As we see Owen Rockall enter the game for the first time for Coyle Finn. Owen's been prolific in underage international, and in the underage cups. His first big test of a big final. And Pat, will nerves play a big part for him tonight, do you think?
Well, look, again, I think getting through that first half and getting some stuff out of the system is a big deal too. But obviously when you're bringing somebody like Rockall off the bench, you're showing a little bit of depth and talent, particularly in the backcourt.
McCarthy finds Buckner on 3-point line. He's called for a travel as he just shuffled his feet before putting the ball on the floor. Hansbury finds Burke. This time into a great spin move by Pelzius, and he started by far the biggest score on the floor as he scores 8 in a row for his team to keep Maree up by 4.
Curious to see if Demons continue to look at that matchup. He's providing speed around the basket.
Lovely move inside for Murphy as he gets the defense off his feet and finishes with a nice layup inside. And O'Hagan finds a cut in Burke. Burke's an athletic talent, but this time it's Hansbury that gets the tip in. And after a slightly slow start, but things are really warming up with 14-10.
Well, if you're Maree, you got to feel good about this now. They're not only scoring, but they're scoring in style. And you get Buckley there to answer with a 3. They're swinging right now.
So both teams are into the rhythm of this men's President's Cup final. And Pelzius will just test the water, foot in the line, it doesn't go. And Murphy will start the break, find an open Duggan in the wing. Duggan loves to play one-on-one basketball. This time he finds O'Neill. O'Neill doesn't shoot this one, and a foul is called on Burke as Buckley puts the ball on the floor.
Tim Halloran really encouraging the penetration and pitch. Most of the Demons down onto the deck, draw the help, and find that open shooter.
Buckley, O'Neill, he'll take another 3. This time he makes no mistake, and that's something that Maree will have to be careful of, because when he gets going, he can score in bunches.
Yeah, and one thing about Brian O'Neill, he doesn't mind missing 3 or 4. He doesn't, because he always believes the 5th one is in.
Yeah, Brian's been clutch in recent finals for Demons. And here with good hands from Rockall as he managed to break up the fast break, and Duggan is called for a foul. First substitution of the game as Craig Duggan is going to check in for Dave Murphy. And it's Demons back up 16-14 as a bit of full court pressure from Craig Duggan. And O'Hagan sets up and gets it to Pelsius. Can't find Hansberry. He's well guarded by Buckley. And we'll see changes on the Maree side as well. Sergi Marty comes in for Pelsius, who's had an excellent start scoring-wise for Maree.
He has, and the matchup I'm really curious now is to see how Shane Buckley handles Hansberry. He's such a talented scorer, particularly around the basket, and if Buckley can give a lot of energy towards that, then Buckley himself doesn't need to score.
And there we see the experience of Shane McCarthy. He's been here many a time in both the Premier League and in Division 1 and never fails to produce a performance. Rockhall, nice drive inside. He finds the open Marty. Marty missed the shot, but Rockhall steps back inside just in time to catch the air ball, and he's fouled. And the foul goes against Shane McCarthy, and it will be 2 shots for Owen Rockhall.
McCarthy's always possessed just terrific knack around the basket. He's got great sense. His footwork is impeccable. And again, I'd be aging myself here to say I was coaching Shane McCarthy in the 1999 Cup final over here.
Yeah, and he doesn't look any different in shape, speed, or anything else, which most of us can't say.
Well, he's got a lot of miles on him, but he's got a terrific appetite for the game. He loves his sport, and he'd be certainly one of the more intelligent players pound for pound out there. He's, again, great savvy about the game.
Yeah, you have to say, despite the amount of years he has played, he looks equally as good now as he did. The ball to Burke. Burke swings it to O'Hagan, who penetrates the middle of the key. Travel there as he just took one step too many, trying to evade the defense of Brian O'Neill. Maree gets Blue Demons lead in Maree 18-16. The ball is overthrown this time by Craig Duggan. In fact, it amazed me this week to find out that Maree had never been in the Cup final before. They obviously possess a lot of experience from both from the Premier League, Division 1, and also from other teams that play in the Cup final. But we talked about Demons, how much experience they've got in the Cup final. Will it be tough for them, or have they showed any signs of that in this early going?
Well, look, I mean, it's not so much that some of these individuals on Maree haven't been in the Cup final, because a couple of them have. I actually coached against Hansberry and Cummins and a few of these fellas at the under-19 level in the Cup. It's just that has this team gone through it together, whereas you look at the Demons lineup, and these guys have been together for years.
And Rockhall is fouled there. Of course, Maree, as their local rivals we saw earlier, Moy Cullen, have a huge tradition in the underage cups, winning both under-18s and under-20s, and they're always thereabouts in the schools competitions as well. So as Pat said, they're not unused to this floor. It'll be their first time in the senior event, and I know they really want to take home a big trophy. As Rockhall goes to the line.
Tim O'Halloran going into the bench now to give some of these starters a rest. That's going to be critical now, particularly as we head towards the latter stages of the game. You know, McCarthy, they need him to play a lot of minutes, but they've got to be quality minutes. They got to be quality minutes. You know, it's very difficult to play the game fatigued. These guys are working really hard. There's also anxiety, so that takes your energy.
So Shane Duggan will take a rest, and he's replaced by Mark O'Leary, as Pat mentioned, another guy with Premier League experience. Ken Hansberry takes the rest for Maree. As Ender Walsh, another one with Junior Cup experience for Maree, has checked into the game. O'Hagan does a good job against O'Neill on the baseline, but it's the recently checked in Robbie McGowan gets a rebound, and O'Leary wastes no time in taking a three, and the foul is called on McGowan as he reached over the back of Ender Walsh.
An opportunity lost there on the back of a terrific offensive rebound by McGowan. You know, you want to capitalize when you get that second chance.
And Demons are in the penalty, so Ender Walsh will walk the length of the floor and have a chance for 2 free throws. So Coach Tim O'Halloran continues to run the bench.
And I would say at this stage, you know, Tim would have to be pleased in terms of just guys finding their way. But certainly Maree, they've answered the bell. You know, they didn't come out with nerves or anxiety or anything like that. They came to play.
Here comes Murphy on the break. And he looks to set it up as we just click down towards a minute to go. And he finds McGowan under the hoop, and good ball movement from Demons. The screen by O'Leary. And O'Leary will take the shot on the pop, and he makes no mistake there. Great long-range shot from Mark O'Leary.
A quick release there on O'Leary, by O'Leary on the pick and pop.
Rockall from three. That one bounces in and out, and eventually hands in the hands of Murphy, but Burke flies to his bench and manages to find a comfortable seat alongside his teammates as the sub comes in. So here we're going to see it's E.J. Lewis, I believe, is checked in for Maree.
Robbie McGowan giving terrific effort right now, keeping shots alive, trying to get those rebounds. Again, any kind of contributions that he can make from the bench, including that drive there, are going to put additional pressure on Maree while the starters are resting.
And McGowan has really come in and put his body on the line here. So with 24 seconds to go, as we see McGowan drive into the basket and getting fouled. Demons leading by a point, 20-19. And Pat, as we come towards the end of the first quarter, will both coaches be happy enough with the first start of the quarter as a case of just getting into the game?
I would think so. I would think so. You know, again, for Demons, you see that Brian O'Neill's trying to get on track with his shot, and Shane McCarthy's made some contributions inside. But Maree's, as I said, they've answered the bell. They're not just going through the motions. They're happy to be here. They're very, very much in the game and competing.
So 10 seconds on both the shot clock and game clock. Burke drives back door, tries to find Marty inside, but can't get it. It will be Maree ball with 3.4 on the game clock, and it was 3 seconds on the shot clock, but it's being caught. So there'll be a timeout called. We just step away and we'll be right back with you with 3.4 seconds to go. It's Demons lead by 3. So 3.4 seconds to go in the court. It'll be Maree ball from the end line. Rockall with a floater, tipped in. And Demons just took the eye off the inbounder, and Coyle Finn catches the air ball from Rockall and puts it in, a 1-point lead at the end of the first quarter.
A timely play by Finn. He stayed alert. I saw that the ball was going to fall short, but again, somebody got caught sleeping on the defensive end.
And so the end of the first quarter is CNS Blue Demons 22, Maree 21. So welcome back to the National Basketball Arena for the second quarter of the Hula Hoops Men's President Cup. It's E.J. Lewis with the ball, finds Rockall. Rockall can't find the open Callanan, but eventually gets to him. And after having an early start with points, Paulius Pelzius comes straight back into the game and starts with a 2.
Pelzic with 10 so far, and again, he's been a handful for the Demons to stop.
McGowan, long 3. And McGowan, since he's come on, Pat's been a huge part of this game.
Yeah, look, again, all you can ask out of the substitutes is that they hold their own, they make contributions where they can. But again, you're seeing a couple of big plays by Robbie at this stage.
So the shot clock is 16. It will be Lewis with the ball. Callanan into Hansby. Hansby didn't see Murphy come from behind, but evades the defense, can't finish, and McCarthy with a rebound. He looks long, but decides eventually to outlet it to Murphy. McCarthy drives. The foul is called at the top on, I think it's on Callanan. It is on Callanan, so that'll be his first.
And McCarthy, again, putting the ball on the deck. He could do a little bit of everything. He can do a little bit of everything. He'll take you off the dribble, he'll pull up for 3, or he can post you up. He's a very strong man.
So it was called before the shot. So it will be Murphy, who finds Gonzalez. McGowan wastes no time in putting the ball on the floor. Can't finish, and Callanan rebounds. Gets into the hands of Rockall, who can't find E.J. Lewis, and good hands from Gonzalez, deflects the ball out of bounds, as we'll see. Brian O'Neill below is about to check back in for Demons. And he's coming in for Gonzalez, who put in a good short shift there. Coach Tim O'Halloran.
Again, back to the bench. If you could be spelling these scorers, if a scorer needs a rest and you can spell and the lead remains the same, that's a great sign.
Pelzius misses that one. Callanan gets the rebound, and Rockall all the way down the lane, and Rockall gets the roll. And that's Owen's first basket of the game. And we're tied at 25 with 8:24 to go.
If there's a defensive concern for Demons right now, it's being able to defend that drive, 2 or 3 guys are making an impact off the bounce.
And a great pass inside. Somehow McCarthy managed to find the cut in Dave Murphy, and Murphy used his body well to finish, and it's Demons back in the lead by 2. E.J. Lewis, an American that joined the team as he pulls up for a shot. Joined the team halfway through October. He's taking a little bit of time to find his feet, but over the last couple of games has put in some good, especially defensive shifts. And Callanan steps back. He's going to take a 3 eventually. He sizes up, doesn't go, but it comes off the hands of McCarthy, and Hansby from Pelzius' pass, and Hansby starts his account, and it's 27-all.
Well, Hansberry, he won't get many that were easier than that one. A couple of the times on his post up, the Demons were sending a second man to double team him, but.
And McGowan again continues the scoring for Demons as he continues to put the ball in the basket. It's Demons up 2 in a nip and tuck game here as Rockall looks to use the screen from Callanan. And Lewis again moves the ball, and Hansby, a nice little fake there. He goes all the way to the basket, doesn't get the roll, but great rebound from Callanan. Decides to kick it out, but good hands from Murphy as he gets the steal. He's O'Neill in front of him, but Callanan doesn't give up on the play. Pat, something I know you like, coming from behind on defense.
Yeah, they'll look at that chase down. If you can get that tip with the inside hand, it could be very disruptive to a fast break.
So we'll take a timeout there with 6:56 to go in the Hula Hoops Men's Presidents Cup final. It is CNS Blue Demons 29, Maree 27. So we're back to the action, 6:56 to go. It's Demons by 2. And Murphy finds the cut in Buckley, who's back into the game as it goes out of bounds. Must have been blocked by Maree.
Execution off those set pieces. You always want to get a good look coming out of a timeout. You know, it's an opportunity. You know exactly where the defense is going to be. You know, there would have always been a big emphasis on scoring coming out of a timeout.
And a foul is called on Cathal Finn, who's just checked back into the game, on Murphy.
That's a terrific call, by the way. You know, a situation like that, the ref could have been caught ball watching, but he saw the play happen.
And Finn had just checked back in after getting early fouls, and he's going to have to sit straight back down again, as that's his third already. And Colm O'Hagan checks back in. And Finn, one of the players with a lot of Premier League experience, that's going to be costly for him, not only because he's out of the game, but also will it pay a big effect, the fact that he's not able to warm up and get into the game when he does come back?
Well, look, it certainly affects their depth in the short term, and you know, there's an awful lot of the second quarter to be played here, and you know, so some other guys are going to have to pick up the slack. You know, McCarthy again with another very crafty move around the basket. He could, if he wanted to, or you know, Tim O'Halloran wanted to, they could just put Shane down there and he could make these plays and draw fouls all day long.
And he makes no mistake from the foul line, and it's now a 4-point lead for CNS Blue Demons as Rockall plays the point, finds Callanan on the elbow. McCarthy sags off, and Paulius looks to find Callanan inside. It comes off McCarthy last. With 11 on the shot clock, it will be end-line ball to Maree. And Paulius just throws it off McGowan as there's no one open.
Demons reverting into a zone here for the out-of-bounds play.
Great hands from McGowan, and gets it to McCarthy, and McCarthy to Buckley as they get it safely into the point guard Murphy's hands. He just gets across the timeline in time. Looks to penetrate, and Rockall, good defense from Rockall, and cleaned up on the rebounds from Callanan, and he finds Hansby, who in turn tries to find Hansby back, but it's 3-on-1 here for Demons as Buckley goes against Callanan, and a great finish from Shane Buckley.
That's a great finish, and the degree of difficulty on that finish was higher than you'd think, you know. He was going against the grain, scored over his right shoulder while going to his left. A great score.
Paulius misses a 3, and McCarthy is off. Slows it back up to McGowan. McCarthy with a lovely pass inside. Something you don't often see on a basketball court, but a fantastic pass from Shane McCarthy.
Oh, I tell you what, that's as nice a play as you're going to see at this level.
And as we go to a timeout on the back of that pass and finish, we just get to see it one more time before we take a timeout.
High fake. That high fake by McCarthy raises the defender's hands and creates a passing lane.
And it's Demons leading 35-27. So welcome back. Shane Buckley is on the foul line. The Demons, they lead by 8. Stays at 8, so he misses, and Podrick Burke has just checked back in after the timeout. And Maree calling the timeout, Pat. They've shipped a couple of points to Demons. What will they be talking about during the timeout with John Finn?
I think what they're just looking to do is try to keep this within striking distance. You know, that 8-point lead can become 11. You know, coming on one possession when you come out of that timeout. So it's really important you make that first stop and first score coming out of timeouts.
So Walsh gets the ball to Rockall, and Burke will take a long two. Good spin from Walsh, uses his body well but can't finish. And someone we've seen a little bit of Demons of, just sitting back a little bit against a lot of the Maree shooters. Is that a deliberate tactic, or?
Well, look, they haven't overextended themselves. They seem, as you said, they're sagging. They're putting 3 guys in the lane. I think that's largely in part to contain Hansberry.
O'Neill missed the 3, and Paulius looks to push and finds O'Hagan. And Burke finds a beautiful cutting end of Walsh. And now we see great basketball by Maree, and they cut the deficit back to 6.
What I really liked about that is Burke didn't put the ball on the floor. As soon as he caught it, he put his eyes up. You know, and then there's that easy opportunity.
Murphy. McGowan looking for the ball inside in the post, as is Shane McCarthy. Doesn't get it on the missed 3 from Murphy, and this time it'll be O'Hagan with an open 3. Paulius, good rebound. Nice spin move from Paulius, and he doesn't get that, and McGowan is disgusted with the call, but just gets composure just in time. And that'll be McGowan's first, as Paulius goes to the line.
Well, Paulius has certainly been Maree's top threat thus far. Demons seem to be a little bit more balanced at this stage, and but again, the game is still nip and tuck. It's a 2-possession game, still nice and early.
And you talk about Ken Hansberry as he's still on the bench at the moment. The Maree need a little bit more from him, or Demons just doing such a good job on him and keeping him out of the game?
I think a lot of it really is where is he catching the ball, and is he catching the, you know, if he's catching the ball in the perimeter, are you willing to give up that shot? But certainly when he's caught it in the post, Demons are sending 2 and 3 guys at him.
Good pass inside from McGowan, but too hot for Buckley to handle. As Shane Duggan's had a nice rest for Demons, and he'll check back in. And Pat, you really can't say enough about how well McGowan's done for them.
Yeah, he's given terrific contributions thus far. And again, O'Halloran will be delighted. You know, you get one of your top players, Duggan, a nice healthy rest there.
So O'Hagan sets up the offense. It's a 5-point game, 35-30. And an offensive foul is called against Paulius. I believe it is, as he does what every player does at some point. Pretends they don't know where they're going in the key, but unfortunately enough, he was called for a foul as he kept on moving. So Murphy being guarded tightly by O'Hagan, and Duggan finds McCarthy as a nice little cut inside from Buckley. Finds O'Neill from the 3-point line. Misses, but straight into the hands of Murphy, and they'll get another chance as Duggan gets to the elbow. McCarthy looks to try and make something happen here. A good defense from Walsh, but again, the slick footwork of McCarthy is a diving shot. You don't see too many diving shots in basketball, but McCarthy made it work. An offensive foul as Ender Walsh just collides into Brian O'Neill as he puts his body on the line.
He did here now, and he slid in there, got his feet there quickly. You know, again, I think the charge call is the toughest call in basketball for referees, but O'Neill did enough, particularly you can see on the replay, to sell that call.
So Duggan finds Shane McCarthy. Again, we see that overhead pass from McCarthy. Buckley can't handle it though, and it's Walsh gets it to O'Hagan, who is stopped well by Dave Murphy, and back to Rockall. Rockall will look to go at Duggan. A great basket from Owen Rockhall as he shows experience beyond his years to pull up over the top of Shane Duggan.
Yeah, that's a tough score where, you know, you're driving hard, you're getting the defender in a retreat mode, and then to just stop and pop over the top of him. That's a high skill play.
Duggan looks to go back at Rockhall, but gets it to O'Neill, and Shane McCarthy will take a three from the corner. That one bobbles out, but Buckley, as has been the case, keeps getting his hands on ball, but good hands from Burke, and Burke will look to attack. He gets away with a bump from Murphy. Good pressure from Murphy and Buckley, and eventually a foul is called. I think it's gone against Shane Buckley. If it has, it will be his first. You see Mark O'Leary check back in the game. He's coming in for Shane Buckley.
It's got to be frustrating there when that was a terrific pickoff, by the way, you know, on chasing down the offensive rebound and then to pick his pocket. But it's got to be frustrating, especially from Tim O'Halloran's point of view. You see your team in a successful double team, and then you bail the guy out with a foul.
So Walsh being guarded by O'Leary in the post. He goes back outside to O'Hagan, and he can't find Paulius inside as he just passed a little bit too quickly. And here we see, with 1:40 to go, Kenneth Hansby checking back into the game. Pat was just with 6 points. He's their biggest scorer. He's one of the biggest scorers in the league. 1:40 to go in the half. It's important he gets a touch or a basket just to give him that bit of confidence.
I think so. Again, he's had extended minutes there again, and you know, if they can get him into a rhythm here in this and get him a couple of touches in the dying minutes of the first half, that I'm sure that would help their team confidence. But you got to give Demons credit. They've done a pretty good job on him now.
And Duggan throws it away, and I missed what happened there, but Dave Murphy went flying to the floor and is happy with Podrick Burke. We'll say for now they fell over each other's feet.
Well, David Murphy with a few words for Podrick Burke there. I'm sure they were exchanging pleasantries.
Two fiery players, I know from seeing them play before, and they'll probably enjoy that little bit of confrontation. So 1:30 to go. It's Demons only leading by 3 now, and Maree have got themselves right back in this with a chance to tie it 1-3. Burke to Hansby. Hansby puts the ball on the floor against McCarthy, but great hands from McCarthy. Picks the pocket of Hansby, and Demons with a chance to extend their lead as a great spin move by O'Leary. And Leary can't make it, and Maree will come straight back down with Kyle Finn, who has checked back in. A risky move, Pat, with 3 fouls.
Well, exactly. And look, there's Demons right now are putting an awful lot of effort in here now, and they're holding on to a lead. I think that, again, Maree might go into the locker room feeling pretty good about this. You know, they're not shooting the ball particularly well. You know, certainly Pelgius has given them great minutes, and he's been their main scoring threat. But look, the second half, the talking point is whether or not they can get Kenneth Hansberry on track.
So a timeout with 50 seconds to go. It's Demons 35, Maree 32. So as you rejoin us here, Pat, 2 different strategies by the coaches in terms of fouls. Shane Duggan, who was on 2 fouls for Demons, has gone out. Kyle Finn, who's on 2 fouls for Maree, has come in.
That's we've talked about this in the semifinals. You're leaving that player in. It's a little bit of roll of the dice.
And it is Finn who comes up with a steal, and the pass to Rockall as Brian O'Neill went down on the fast break, giving a 2-on-1. So it might be that the gambling has paid off for Maree, and that's Finn, who's arms straight up, doing his best. Got away with a little bit of a bump there, which is a bit dangerous, but from the corner is Gonzalez, who's straight off the bench and puts Demons up as the clock runs out. Rockall will get this off. It hits the ring but comes up short. So at the end of the first half of the Hula Hoops Men's President's Cup Final, it's CNS Blue Demons 38, Maree 34. Join us in about 10 minutes' time for the start of the second half. So welcome back to the National Basketball Arena for the second half of the Hula Hoops Men's President's Cup Final. CNS Blue Demons are leading Maree 38-34 at the end of a close half of basketball. And Pat, teams will have had a little bit of time to discuss things. What do you expect to change in the second half?
Well, for Demons, I wouldn't change a hell of a lot, to be honest. You know, they're able to run their sets as we just saw there and get guys like O'Neal open. I think more of the adjustments might need to be on the Maree stage. How do you establish Hansberry better than he was in the first half?
And a change from the first half as Maree have started with the two big guys, with Walsh and Hansberry, which we didn't see in the first half. And again, Owen Rockhold starts in place of O'Hagan and Burke. So a slightly different tactic, and is that to try and do what you talked about, establish the inside game with the two of them?
I think so. And look, one of the telling, items in any cup final is who's going to make the adjustments that matter. We saw what Mark Keenan did in the semifinal for Temple Oak in terms of how can you assist that team. Ultimately it's a player's game, but coaches can adjust tactics. And there was a couple possessions in the second quarter where Maree went to a zone, and it kind of threw Demons off for a few possessions. You wonder if they're going to go back to that zone.
So O'Neal off to a fast start in the second half with an early three. Duggan, two Maree players taking him, and Rockhold does a great job of selling the foul there after getting a hand on the ball, and it's Murphy is called for the foul. So again, that pressure straight away from Hansberry.
And look, we even talk about tactics now. Now there's a little bit of a different look. They're aggressively now jumping up on ball screens and hedging and then pushing them out on the traps. If you can make them throw backwards coming out of a ball screen, that's terrific.
Rockhold uses the screen and nails a three with a fist pump at the end, and Rockhold's having a good game with his 41-38.
He is. He's definitely made his mark on the game, and he's playing with great energy.
He's had a couple of big scoring games for Maree this year. As again, he puts the pressure on, and again, Duggan trying to find McCarthy, throws the ball away, and a little bit of frustration early from Demons.
Yeah, there's back-to-back possessions again where coming out of a set, Demons were forced to throw the ball backwards.
Yeah, good pressure from Maree, and Rockhold, he'll take another three. Good pass, we'll call that to Paulius, but Paulius is blocked by combination of Buckley and Murphy, and Buckley will find O'Neal on the wing. And it's back into the hands of Murphy to set things up under some pressure from Paulius, but he evades that, and a great pass inside to McCarthy, who can't quite finish off the boards, and Rockhold runs through Hansberry. And Hansberry, again, look to put the ball on the floor against Buckley, takes a tough fadeaway shot, and Buckley just catches him on the arm. And it'll be two shots for Ken Hansberry, and perhaps an opportunity for him to find his touch a little bit.
Absolutely, and again, it was a little bit of a bailout. Buckley bailed him out with that foul. Again, if you can get Hansberry taking nearly a fadeaway shot from that corner or going away from the basket. And Demons will rue that opportunity. David Murphy with a gut drive. He puts the ball deep into the paint and gets a little dump off to McCarthy, and they can't convert on the high percentage shot. It is the little things. It is the little things. When you see these scores, it's a one possession game right now.
And we've seen that in earlier games today, that the easy misses did come back to haunt teams, as O'Neal is off target on that three. Don't forget, still to come tonight, we have the men's main event, the Hula Hoops Men's National Cup Final. You'll have to switch over to TG Car to watch live coverage of that. Tip-off is at 8 o'clock. It will be live on air from 10 to 8. Finn makes his mark in the game after getting in foul trouble early in the game, and he ties the game at 41 apiece.
I like the energy of the Maree guards right now. They got a bounce in their step right now.
Buckley tries to re-establish himself and Demons, and Hansberry is called for a foul. We're giving two shots for that. We've had a full day of basketball so far. In first game of the morning, Pyrebelt Colester won the Under-20s Cup Final, beating DCU Mercy. That was followed up by St. Brendan's winning the first ever men's National Intermediate Cup final over League Slip. And then BFG Neptune overcame Moy Cullen in a great under-18s game. As the free throws missed from Buckley, tomorrow we start at 10:30 in the morning. It's the under-20 men's final. BFG Neptune again versus St. Vincent's, trying to win their second trophy of the weekend. Under-18 women's at 12:30, Brunel DCU Mercy. 2:30, Oblet Dynamos versus NUIG Mystics. All three of those games are live on Basketball Island website on the live stream, as Hansby goes in and out with a three, but Walsh grabs the rebound and finds Paulius inside, but Paulius comes up short. And the final game finishing off the weekend is the Hula Hoops Women's National Cup Final, again live on TG Car. Tip-off 5:15. It's Team Montnotte Hotel from Cork against Pyrobel Calesta.
Couple of easy, high percentage chances that went by the wayside for Maree.
So a good start to the second half for Maree, as they've come back from down 7 at one point, as McCarthy takes a three, rims off and rebounded by Finn, gets it back, and he'll look to insert himself on the game. Rebounded by Enda Walsh at end. Rockall, lovely floater from Rockall, doesn't go, but again, Enda Walsh is making a nuisance of himself in the second half. Hansby turns down the shot. Beautiful finish from Hansby with great body control. As a timeout is called with 6:19 to go in this third quarter. It's Maree that are leading Demons now by a point of 43-42. And you're back with us with 6:19 to go, and practice for a timeout. We talked about Ken Hansby finding his range, and a beautiful basket from him.
Well, look, they forced him to put the ball on the floor, and he made a wildly athletic play, going into his left hand with the score. It forces Demons to take that timeout. But again, so far, the story of the second half so far has been Maree's legs. They got fresh legs. They're coming out with energy. All of these smaller guards have changed the game right now.
And Paulius decides to take the three. Bounces out, and yet again Enda Walsh gets a hand on it, but this time comes off him last, and it will be Demons ball. I'm assured Ken Hansby has been working hard this year. He's looking a slightly slimmer, trimmer, more athletic Ken Hansby. He's always been able to score and do a bit of everything. Great to see him getting in shape, and it was acknowledged by his call-up to the Hibernia squad this year. Duggan, fadeaway jumper, doesn't get it, and Kyle Finn is starting to play a bit more of a role in this game now. He's got a few consistent minutes.
You know, you look and see where's the answer is going to come if Maree's guards are doing the job that they're doing, and certainly Shane Duggan is going to be called upon here in the second half. They're going to need an impact from him.
And Kyle Finn has to calm himself, as he's convinced he touched that back into bounds 4 steps on the line. Let's hope we don't see a replay of that, so we don't have to make the call. As Paulius takes a break, and Podrick Burke has stepped in, so Pat makes a bit of a difference. The lineup change with Maree gone with 2 bigs in the second half means their guards are coming off the bench a little bit fresher.
That's right. And look, you know, also how Demons play against that. You know, Demons are running a 1-4 high set right now, which pulls interior defenders like Hansberry away from the basket. So now guards are getting to the rim a little bit easier, scoring in one-on-one situations.
Great hands from Hansbury, as Buckley was off to the races. And when he looked down to bounce the ball, he realised that Kenny Hansbury had just tipped it away from him. And he's fouled, going up for the basket as Mark O'Leary will check into the game. And he's given Shane McCarthy a rest. I guess that's to make sure he's fresh going into the fourth quarter when they really need him the most.
So you look at the Demons lineup now and you start to wonder where are the points going to come from right now. And then, you know, David Murphy's done a great job being a facilitator and organizing his team and leading his team. You know, certainly Shane Duggan's going to want to make his mark on this game.
Yeah, Shane is well able to score in bunches at any level. I've been on the wrong end of that myself. And
you're not alone. You're not alone.
He really can score quickly when he gets his mind to it, but Demons need him now as O'Leary takes a three. And O'Leary has showed that he can hit threes, and he's not shy to put them up, and he makes one at a time when they desperately needed it.
Well, that's a big play now because now that's McGowan's fourth foul.
And McGowan had a superb first half, but a little bit of over-enthusiasm here has caused his fourth foul, and at the moment Timmy O'Halloran has decided to leave him in the game. And Burke can't punish them as they're already in penalty with 4:15 to go in this third quarter. So the crowd starts to fill up a little bit for the men's Hula Hoops Men's National Cup Final that's coming up next. It's an 8 o'clock tip-off for that game live on TG Car. O'Leary open for another three. This time he puts the ball on the floor. Good defense from Walsh. And McGowan goes at Burke, and Burke pays way too much close attention to McGowan and gives them an easy foul. And Demons will have the ball back from the sideline.
And McGowan would want to be careful here. He doesn't get a charge call there. He had his head down on a hard drive.
Murphy. McGowan reverses to Duggan. And Shane Buckley travels again as he just lifts both feet.
Unfortunate for Demons that they get the violation. They had moved the ball terrifically there. You know, Murphy waited for the double team to come. They rotate the ball and puts the defense into a scramble.
And McGowan on 4 fouls takes the rest, and Shane McCarthy's long rest was very short-lived. Rockall finds Finn. Finn right down the middle of the lane and finishes over the outstretched arm of Buckley. And we're tied at 47, and 3:30 just over to go in the third quarter.
You know, the knock-on effect of McGowan's foul trouble is fatigue. You know, fatigue on these guys, and you know, not able to go into that rotation, say with Shane McCarthy or O'Leary or even Buckley. They've been kind of running a little rotation amongst them, so now there's added pressure on these guys.
Yeah, we see Maree have upped the intensity a little bit, so it'll be up to Demons to match them in the second half as Ken Hansbury just gets called for a double dribble, I believe. Murphy moves it to O'Leary. O'Leary from the corner for a long two, and that rattles in from O'Leary, and he's found his range with the shooting.
Well, he's made a contribution now for sure. Now he's on 7 points. Again, you know, he's doing what he can, you know, to keep them in check.
Rockall, long two, feet in the line, bounces out. But you talked about the fatigue, and Maree consistently moving the ball and coming off screens. And is that their kind of tactic, to wear them down a little bit?
I would imagine so. And again, if I'm coaching Maree right now, I'm saying you just keep on attack mode. You know, you just keep the pedal down, and let's see what happens here in the last 4 minutes.
Rebound from Finn, finds Hansbury. They've numbers. Rockall fakes the pass. Great finish from Rockall over O'Leary. And we're back tied at 49. There's nothing between these two in the second half. Good spin off by Murphy. Murphy goes up, and a foul is called on Ender Walsh, caught him from behind. So it'll be 2 shots to Maree as Gonzalez looks to check in below us, as does Sergi Marti for Maree. And it looks like Maree are playing the faster basketball, but Demons are just hanging in there and scoring as they, whenever they want to keep them level.
They are. Again, Maree's guards right now have upped the level of play, and they're asking more questions of the Demons defenders than vice versa in terms of being able to just match that speed. But, Maree haven't really been able to capitalize on a lot of high percentage shots, a number of missed layups and things along those lines. I'd be keeping an eye on David Murphy here too. Now he's logging a lot of minutes, playing really hard and really focused. But again, the last 4 minutes are going to tell a lot here.
So with 2 minutes to go in the third, it's Demons by a point. Rockall gets called for travel. He's claimed he was held behind. The crowd agree with him, or at least half the crowd agree with him. The other half are convinced he traveled.
Well, there's always the argument when you see something like that. Did the travel happen because of the foul, or did the foul happen, so there's always that debate.
Gonzalez hit his last, he missed this one. Walsh, who's done a terrific job on the rebound since he's started this second half. It's a point lead for Demons. Rockall finds Walsh. Walsh reverses to Hansby for three. Hansby comes up short, but Coyle Finn gets the ball first, and now it's Owen Rockall who was hammered after the shot. No doubt about that. But referee's missing that one.
That's a tough no call. That's a very tough no call. And Maree would rightfully feel hard done there. And that's why. And that's exactly why.
And punished by Shane Buckley, who's found his shooting stroke again, and all of a sudden it's Demons up by 4.
Well, Maree clearly fouled on the 3, and Buckley turns around and answers with a 3.
A big swing as pressure from Rockall, but Buckley escapes that, so we're under a minute to go, 48 seconds. It's a 4-point lead for Demons. And McCarthy just slows things up, finds a great pass inside, and an offensive foul. It's called on Dave Murphy. By the time I looked, it was definitely the other way around, but obviously that's the first pull was from Murphy.
And that was a rather quick whistle there to get that turned back around. And, again, that same play, by the way, was, I would suggest that was liberally refereed in the first half,
Yeah, they'll be looking to tighten up here as it comes to crunch time. Walsh uses his body against Shane McCarthy, and Enda Walsh has really been a big influence on Maree in the second half.
Well, you wouldn't often see Shane McCarthy get back down in the lane. And again, that was a terrific post move, great footwork.
So 20 seconds to go, 30 on the shot clock for Demons. McCarthy has his chance to gain revenge, and he does exactly that with a nice lefty finish, and there's 10 seconds to go. Ball in Rockall's hands, the 4-point lead. Rockall, great footwork, and he's fouled inside, so it'll be 2 shots to Owen Rockall with 5.9 on the clock.
Well, Rockall's been the star of the third quarter. Again, not necessarily scoring a ton of points, but always putting pressure on Demons right now with the way he's delivering the ball, his ability to get into the paint and create help defense.
Foul called on O'Leary, it's his first. And Rockall misses the first shots with 5.9 to go in this third quarter. It's Demons by 4 points as Coach Timmy O'Halloran screams his instructions at his team with 5-6 seconds to go, and a chance to extend the lead after this shot from Rockall. And Rockall misses both, but a good job from Sergi Marty, gets his hands on the ball, but on the possession arrow will be Demons ball, so 4.3 seconds to go.
Plenty of time to get a shot off here. Plenty of time to get a good look. You wonder if Demons have a set play for this.
And here it comes into McCarthy, and McCarthy finds Buckley. Buckley for a long 3, and it looked like it was going to be close here, but it bounced off the ring. So at the end of the third quarter of the Hula Hoops Men's President's Cup Final, it's CNS Blue Demons 55, Maree 51. So welcome back. It's the final quarter of the Men's President's Cup final. Rockall on the baseline. They look to get it into Walsh. Rockall, good move against Gonzalez. Nice float from Rockall, and Rockall starts the quarter with another 2.
Yeah, picks up where he left off. He's got a load of confidence right now. And again, a guy who could both handle the ball, shoot the ball, drive, you know, he's a dangerous prospect in the last 10 minutes.
And the foul is called on Dave Murphy after a great block inside by Hansbury. For me in that third quarter, Maree were the better team, they were a dominant team, but it's a tied game, exactly where we were. It was 4 points going into the half-time and 4 points. Is that credit to Demons and the way they played? I
think so. Look, Demons have grit and they've got experience. These guys, you know, they might get on each other's back, but that's because they're so used to each other and they challenge each other to step up.
And Rockall continues his scoring spree as he ties it up for Maree at 55-all with just over 9 to go.
And Demons now will look at tactics because they have no answer for Rockall right now on the perimeter. They can't contain him off the dribble.
And Paulius picks up when he talked about Dave Murphy's minutes. He's going to have to go. He's 4 fouls now, so that will give him a bit of a rest, but not the kind of rest that Demons coach Tim O'Halloran would have wanted to give him.
No, the red flags are going to start to go up here now with Demons. You know, you've got their 3 best perimeter scorers. You know, your 3 best perimeter players in Murphy, O'Neal, and Duggan all on the bench right now. Your backup forward on 4 fouls with McGowan. So, again, it's good for Demons to see Duggan re-enter the game. But, again, is he going to make his mark on this game yet?
Yeah, he's been quite quiet compared to normal stance from Shane Duggan. So they'll be looking for something from him. And I'm sure he'll be ready to produce. Looks like it bounced out of bounds, but no, Rockall. And a charge is called, and Shane Duggan, normally the huge offensive threat for Demons, does his work on the defensive end. There's a great charge, and it'll go back to Demons.
Yeah, referee Dave Kabaya did a great job. He had perfect positioning. It was a fairly easy call on his end.
And Rockall backs up his foul by coming straight back and getting a second one, so that's 2 fouls in the space of 2 seconds for Rockall, but he's only on 2. But it does put Maree on 4 team fouls in the space of a minute in the final quarter of a cup final. Not a good position to be in, Pat.
No, look, again, what I'm looking to see is what teams make adjustments right now. Another terrific play by Rockall. He's really impacted the game.
Paulius. Nice spin move inside, up over a little bit. Hansbury gets the tip, puts it back in, and he's fouled by Shane McCarthy. And that will be McCarthy's 3rd, so the fouls are starting to stack up a little bit on both teams. As McGowan, who's on 4 himself, will check back in, and he's coming in for O'Leary.
Well, Hansbury now goes to 13 points, and he's, again, you want to get that unconventional, or the conventional rather, 3-point play. That offensive rebound and be able to maintain body control while you're getting fouled.
So Hansbury quietly moves to 14. And it's Maree that, out of nowhere, come from 4 down in this quarter. Demons yet to score in the 4th quarter. And Maree on a 7-point run as Buckley tries to break that. And Shane Buckley's been clutch from the 3-point line. And he ties the game up at 58.
Look, that's a tough matchup for Hansbury. You know, Buckley's got that ability to knock down the 3. It's the 2nd time he's drawn Hansbury out. Hansbury's reluctant to come all the way, and it gives an easy look for Buckley.
Great move inside from Paulius, scores over McCarthy, and McCarthy sportingly picks him up off the deck. And it's Craig Duggan at the top of the key. Nice spin move from Duggan, and he finds McCarthy in the corner. McCarthy over Paulius. Missed the shot. Duggan does a great job of throwing it off. Rockall throws it back off him, and a travel is called to McCarthy as he can't quite grasp his hands on the ball fast enough to get it to the deck. And it will be Maree ball. And Coyle Finn, who after a very quiet first half, with foul trouble has been ever present on the floor in this second half. And Walsh, a screen for the excellent Rockall, with great hands inside from Craig Duggan, who's really put himself about this last minute and a half. Nice move from Finn, but can't finish inside.
And Demons escaped there. Another high percentage look by Maree that couldn't be converted.
Hansbury eventually managed to get the ball to Rockall, and Rockall find Paulius. Paulius escapes the defense and all the way to the basket, and Timmy O'Halloran calls a timeout with Maree up 4, 62 to 58. So, welcome back. You've missed all the fun and games. There was at least one technical foul called on Robbie McGowan. So his action is done for the night. And Paulius will step to the free throw line. He misses, but he stays there, so it looks like a second technical was called as well. Pat, can you shed any light on what happened?
Well, look, he obviously protested the call, but again, when you square up, and I don't mean that in a physical way, but when you turn and you question the ref, as everybody else has gone to the bench, it really kind of leaves you out on an island, and then you don't really leave the ref much choice.
So, 3 free throws, so I think maybe it was the 5 fouls on McGowan meant a bench technical for the second one, so it's 2 shots in possession. So 3 shots to Maree, which they hit 2, and now they're up 6 with 7 to go. And a foul on the head by Buckley, and Pat Demons, having been up 4 at the half, they've had a tough start, bit of indiscipline. Maree playing a little bit better. How are they going to stop this little rot here?
Well, look, again, I would know a lot of these players particularly well. They're very hard on themselves and they're very tough on each other. They hold each other accountable. Now, again, what you want to make sure is does that motivate them here in the last 7 minutes as opposed to an implosion?
And Demons, for the first time since probably the first 3 minutes of the game, have gone back to their starting 5 players. Is this Coach Timmy O'Halloran's push to win the title?
Look, again, they're going to need to answer here. There's question marks that are being asked of them. And again, right now, what you want to see is execution.
And Kyle Finn finds Hansbury in the corner for 3. Bounces out and into the hands of Duggan. And Shane Duggan decides to pull it back out, and he finds McCarthy. And Dave Murphy going one-on-one and splits the gap there between Enda Walsh, and it will be Murphy going to the foul line for 2 shots.
Well, David Murphy now, again, he's got these opportunities to organize a team. You'd be looking for him in dead ball situations to make sure the team is organized, that they're running what they need to run. He's obviously got the ability, too, to put the ball on the deck and get to the rim. And look, one of the easiest ways back in when you're down 8 is you stop that clock and you score from the free throw line. The deficit doesn't seem so bad if you're scoring when the clock is dead.
So Murphy makes the first, and he hits the second, and it's back to a 6-point game. Finn finds Paulius. Burke has checked into the game. Rockall, good ball movement. Finn from the corner, in and out, and Buckley escapes Product Burke. Sorry, it was Duggan escaping Product Burke, and now it hands up, and Duggan will take a 3. Bounces in and out. And Rockall with Maree up 6, and 5:54 to go in the Hula Hoops Men's President's Cup Final. Rockall fakes the shot inside to Hansbury. Hansbury back out to Finn. Finn for 3. Huge 3 from Cahill Finn. And all of a sudden, the largest lead of the game for either team was Maree up 9 with 5:30 to go.
Well, the last couple of possessions looks as if Demons went with a zone. And again, you're running the risk then. If I'm playing against a team that's confident and knocking some shots down.
Buckley tries to get his hands rebounds but can't, and it comes in the hands of Burke. Paulius splits the gap, and Paulius blew an open layup, and that would have blown the game wide open, but Maree's it happens, still up 9, but great hands from Finn, and Paulius makes amends by jumping on a loose ball, and it'll be Rockall slows things up as Maree leading by 9. Rockall fakes the 3. Good ball movement against the zone that Pat talked about. And
well, we talked about fatigue becoming an issue, and I think it's becoming an issue now with Demons. Their transition defense is paced rather than sprints. Their cuts on offense aren't at full speed. Their closeouts are that much slower. Maybe that is the reason Tim O'Halloran opted for the zone. But, again, what they're going to need right now is to really focus on execution, one play at a time. Whereas if I was Maree, I'd change nothing. I would continue to attack. They've got great bounce in their step. They're getting loads of contributions from the perimeter.
And last night, in the women's intermediate final, it was a case of experience versus youth. Experience won out. Same kind of matchup tonight, but at the moment, it's the youth in the final quarter, third and fourth quarter, that's just winning out, would you say?
No question. Rockall and Finn in particular have given terrific minutes. Again, they hung around early and got a good feel for the game, but in the second half they came out and they've made all the difference.
O'Callaghan grabs the loose ball and a foul, I think, on Shane Duggan.
All the scrappy plays right now, all the loose balls, people call them 50-50 balls. There's no such thing as 50-50. Maree's beating him to the ball right now.
And it's not Duggan, it is the 7th foul on Shane McCarthy. Pat down 11, one of their most experienced players, one of their better scorers. Is that huge for Demons?
That's a massive loss. But again, 11 or 12 points at this stage, insurmountable? I don't think so. Not when you have scoring power like Shane Duggan or Brian O'Neill on the floor. Again, both O'Leary and Buckley have also hit threes. But again, they're nearly in the red zone right now. You couldn't let this lead go much bigger.
So O'Neill gets into the hands of Buckley. And Demons in desperate need of a score here. Murphy, good ball movement. O'Neill with a 3. Doesn't go. And Duggan can't grab the rebound. And Finn gets it to Rockall, who's done an excellent job of running this team for such a young player. But Hansbury, good body control, and he gets the rebounds after good defense from Buckley, and he puts it in as a 13-point lead.
Well, that was probably Hansbury's most effective post-up. Really strong. Again, when you miss a shot that close to the basket, you know where the rebound is coming, and he was quick to the second shot.
And O'Neal, after missing the three, puts the ball on the floor, gets the basket and is fouled. And Coach O'Halloran just talking to Shane Duggan below as John Finn does the same with his two guards, just to try and get some final instructions and avoid taking a timeout.
And Demons will go back to man here now. And again, not so much tinkering at this stage. They're looking for answers. There's some direct answers, but obviously let's expect to see Brian O'Neal try to get plenty of shots up here in the last 3 minutes to cut this lead.
Burke gets it back into Rockhall's hands. So with 3:30 to go, it's an 11-point lead for Maree. Rockhall going against O'Neal. Kyle Finn gets it back to Burke into the hands of Rockhall. Rockhall again puts it on the floor against O'Neal. Unbelievable move from Rockhall, and he's had a fabulous game for someone so young.
Oh, he really has. And again, in the second half, he changed the game single-handedly. He really did. He brought pace. You know, not only was it his scoring, but he made everybody play with him.
And here is Rockhall again. The 13-point lead for Maree. We're just about to go under the 3-minute mark. Rockhall, if that goes in, he can walk away with the cup, but just falls short. Good hands from Finn as he takes out the Subway sign. And Gonzalez replaces Shane Duggan as Timmy O'Halloran shuffles his pack again with 2:55 to go. As disappointed Duggan comes out.
Again, in the grand scheme of things, and a stop time game, 3 minutes is a long time, but the body language right now from Demons doesn't suggest that there's plenty of time left.
And a costly turnover there for Demons, and Maree have plenty of time to just work this ball around. Clock's on their side, and there's not too much pressure coming from Demons at the moment. And Rockhall, oh, at the basket, and a foul is called. And Pat, I've never seen a Demon side give up. I don't expect them to here, but the pace they play in as a timeout is called, is that kind of showing where they feel the things are at the moment?
Well, look, I wouldn't suggest, I've never seen a Demons team quit. And well, what I think it is the reality of fatigue. I think there's fatigue there, and they're just having a hard time keeping up with him.
So we're about to go to a timeout here. It's 75-62. So Rockhall makes the free throw. It's a 14-point lead. Gonzalez.
Demons are going to want to stay in attack mode here so that they can get into the bonus and try to get some free throws. Opportunity again for Buckley to try to cut into this lead with the clock stopped.
Buckley misses the first. Pat, you're going to be asked to pick the MVP for this game later on. I won't ask you to name him just yet, but who's been really impressive and who's impressed you from either side so far tonight?
Well, look, again, I thought on the Demons side, I thought there was great early contributions from Shane McCarthy. Brian O'Neill knocked down some big threes in the first half, but for Maree, the way they kept in the game was the first half play of Paulius Pelgius, and throughout the game, it's one of those things. But Hansberry, they say you're not going to stop him. You can only hope to contain him. We said he was held in check. Well, you turn around and you look and he's got 19 points again. So it's come gradually. It's not always easy. He really grinded away at it. 19 points, and certainly the contribution. 19 points off the bench from Owen Rockhall that turned the tide. And we, in the fourth quarter alone, right now, Maree have outscored Demons by 19.
Huge fourth quarter from Maree as another missed shot. And Gonzalez just can't get it to go in Demons. They've just not had that luck, but it's been great defense as Rockhall will surely get called for an 8-second call. He does. They can't get it over. Good pressure from Demons. As we talked about, they will never quit. It's a 15-point lead at the moment, 2 minutes to go. But they need something sensational at this point.
Again, you're going to try to they've got some of their best shooters on the floor right now. And again, they're gonna need to make attacks quick, and more importantly for them, accurate.
Foul called on Podrick Burke. And the one thing we see from Maree is that their defensive intensity keeps up, that they're not likely to leave the likes of Brian O'Neill open for threes, which is the one way you could see Demons cutting to such a big deficit.
Yeah, look, again, a 25-7 quarter right now for Maree, and certainly that's made the difference. They were down 4 at half. It was all level at 17-17 in the third quarter, but it's been all Maree in the fourth.
O'Neill knocks down that free throw, so 1 minute 53 to go. It's Maree 77, CNS Blue Demons 64. Hansberry brings the ball up, shows his versatility and gets it to Finn, and Maree show the experience of just moving it around, and Coyle Finn won't be rushed into taking a quick shot as the shot clock ticks down to 8, and they still hold up. Finn takes a dribble jumper, and Hansberry does a great job, and it's finished off by Callahan, and they'll get another 14 seconds as the clock goes under 90 seconds, and a foul eventually from Brian O'Neill.
When you're chasing a game, there's probably nothing more frustrating than seeing offensive rebounds.
Callahan gets a friendly roll as the Maree crowd rise to their feet, hoping to see their team lift this trophy for the very first time. Callahan can't do it, but again, Pat, we see the offensive rebounds you talked about.
It's safe to say that trophy's going to Galway.
Yeah, as soon as the first offensive rebound, you saw the Demons' shoulders dip. Now they nearly fell off, and Rockhall tries to cement it with a long three. With 1 minute 6 to go, it's a 14-point lead for Demons, and O'Leary will go for 3. Comes up short, and that is surely that, Pat. Pat, I'm going to ask you to name your MVP.
Well, again, on the back of being the catalyst for this second half resurgence of Maree, our MVP, our man of the match, should certainly go to Owen Rockhall. Again, outstanding contributions from the entire team. Finn gave a great game. Hansberry gave a great game. But again, Owen Rockhall really led the charge. And his, not only his scoring ability, but his pace. And it was a pace that ultimately Demons couldn't keep up with.
Yeah, delight to watch second half. Seen Owen in plenty of big games in the juniors, but to see him step up and play the kind of game he did in a senior competition certainly shows that Irish basketball can produce some fantastic players as the Maree crowd jump on their feet. They pass it around, but the shot clock will go off, so they'll have to shoot it or hand it back. It's a long 15 seconds for Demons. It looks like a game of keep ball as everyone has stopped. There's a full 12 seconds to go on the clock. And now they've eventually passed up. Pat, you have to say, a superb second half performance from Maree has given them the opportunity to win this one.
Well, a well-deserved celebration going on at midcourt. Demons put up a good fight, but in the end, the credit goes to Maree, particularly for their ability to attack and keep Demons on their back feet.
And they won't know who MVP is yet, but it was noticeable that the majority of the Maree players were hugging and rubbing Owen Rockhole's hair, as he really was the big difference for them in that second half. So I don't think they'll be in a disagreement when they hear who the MVP is.
And again, certainly Demons have had a great run in this cup. And in the first 3 quarters, it was anybody's game. And it really became a case of how much energy could you sustain over the course of the game. And Maree brought it, and they maintained their focus even when Demons held that early lead.
And Demons were the reigning President Cup champions. They'll have to relinquish it, but as you said, it's been a great run for them to get here. Maree have been the fallen team in the league, and overall, over the 40 minutes of basketball, was slightly the stronger team, but it was an excellent game. Pat, just while we have a few minutes, I'll just ask you to maybe make a few comments on your thoughts on how the men's premier game, the National Cup final, will go later on. GCD Swords Thunder versus Temple Oak.
It should be a cracker. I mean, look, you got 2 teams that are absolutely fired up about the opportunity for their club. This is an opportunity to lift that trophy for the first time at senior level. I think the injury questions surrounding Temple Oak are going to play a big factor. At this stage, everybody's aware that Connor Grace is not going to be playing. He had surgery earlier in the week, and it's just not possible for him to play with that injured hand. That's a massive loss for Temple Oak, not only from a scoring, rebounding point of view, but he's probably their best defender. The leadership speaks volume. Connor's one of these guys. He'll be able to impact that team from the bench. It's another assistant coach for Mark Keenan to lean on. But so you say, well, okay, so what next? Well, now you got Michael Bonaparte or Paul Comans, who's probably going to play for the first time in a number of weeks. And then now the X Factor. The X Factor is Patty Kelly was brought in. Does Patty Kelly get an opportunity to play? And not only that, but how does that affect the chemistry for Temple Oak? If they can overcome those, then you're looking at a Temple Oak win. But Swords, you wouldn't write them off. A lot of times you come into trophy competitions, it's the hot team. They've been up and down in the league, but after what they did to Demons down in Cork on Demons' home court, why would you write them off?
And that's exactly it. A lot of the talk has been about Temple Oak because of the injuries, but Swords Thunder they'll be quietly confident in their performance, and they'll be thoroughly looking forward to it as we see Maree going up to collect their medals through Kenneth Hansbury. So let's not forget, it's their first ever National Cup victory at senior level, and they'll be delighted with their contributions.
Yeah, look, John Finn and Mike Lynch have done a great job with this team. It never really became about one man. You've got, Hansberry on 18 points, Pelzius on 19, Owen Rockhull on 21 points. It was a really well-balanced effort.
So as they collect their medals and smile to the crowd, it's been good crowds here all day, and people are still streaming in for the men's final. Don't forget, join us live on TG Car. The program will not start until 10 to 8 with tip-off at 8 o'clock for the Hula Hoops men's Cup final as Maree O'Hagan collects her medal. The manager, Mary's been a long-time servant of Maree in a managerial job, and one of the nicest people you'll meet in basketball, as the majority of the club are. So delighted to see her get the medal.
Well, people like Maree, they're so critical to what goes on in the club. We see Owen Rockhull up to collect that MVP trophy right now. Well deserved.
And I think from the chants of MVP from the crowd, the majority of the crowd are certainly in agreement with your decision, Pat.
Well, look, again, I think the dog in the street knew who the man of the match was today. This kid was terrific.
Yeah, great to see one of Ireland's biggest prospects performing on this national front. And now we'll get the President's Cup trophy presented by the President of Basketball Ireland, Jerry Kelly. And it is Ken Hansbury, a long-time servant of Maree, that will go up and collect the cup. as they lift the cup aloft. It's been a great performance for Maree. Pat, final word about the performance of Maree?
Look, again, I'm impressed with their balance. I'm impressed with their poise. I'm certainly impressed with their speed at that level. And they hung in there against a historic club team, a historic cup team. Demons are known for bringing the big games to the cup, and they didn't back down at all, and that's what really stood to them today.
Okay, that's the final games of the stream for tonight. Don't forget, we start on the live stream again in the morning with the men's under 20 cup final at 10:30, followed by the under 18 women's at 12:30, and the women's senior cup at 2:30, and then we switch to TG Car for 5:15 for the Hula Hoops women's national cup final. Tonight, 8 p.m. tip-off on TG Car is the Hula Hoops men's Premier Cup final, and we'll leave you with that, and we'll hope to catch you later on TG Car.